Good morning. I'm Madam Valentine Yongesa, and welcome to our English lesson today. And in our lesson today, we are going to deal with it's composition writing. Under composition writing, we are going to deal with a friendly, also called a personal or an informal letter. This is a preview of the previous composition because it was a question you attempted, and I'm here to make the corrections so that if you made any mistake, you are in a position to know where you went wrong, and then you can do the correction. Why do we call it a friendly or a personal or an informal letter? We've both written, we have two types of letters, informal and formal. So you have the informal letter, and then we have the formal letter. So we have informal. Why is it called informal? Because in this type of letter, we are going to write this letter to people we are in close association with. If I say people you are in close association with, it's like these are your friends or your relatives. Like people you keep checking up on, people you keep calling, maybe people you text, not even in a daily basis but quite sometime regularly. We say you are in close association with, So this can be your friends or they can be your relatives. And in this type of letter, you express yourself freely. Like there is no limit to what you are supposed to say, You are allowed to greet a person, ask them how they are doing, tell them how you are doing, ask them about any miscellaneous thing that you can think about. Unlike the formal letter, its length is not restricted as like in the formal letter. So if you are writing, let's say, a friendly, a personal, or an informal letter, and then you come up with 3 paragraphs, then I don't know what's the problem with you actually. I don't know what's the problem with you, because there is no way somebody can tell you to write a letter to your father or to your friend in another school telling them about your new school, or you write a letter to your father to tell him about your academic performance in school. Let's say you are in a boarding school and ask for fare home or ask him to send school fee. Like there are so many things you can ask in this letter. How are the kids at home doing? How is your mother doing? Your uncle that was sick, has he recovered? Tell him about your school performance, what you performed, what you got in your first card, in your second card. What am I trying to say? Its length is not restricted. So if you are taught to write this kind of letter and then you come up with 3 paragraphs, I think that's very sobby. So you have types of letter. These are type of letter written to a people we are in close association with, i.e. friends and relatives. So when you come here, we are going to talk about features of what? A friendly letter. So if we say features of a friendly letter, what we mean is what makes a friendly letter a friendly letter, and what makes an informal letter a formal letter. Like what are the differences? Now, this type of letter has one address. It has one address written on the right hand side, and this address belongs to the what? To the sender. This address belongs to the sender. So in a letter we have 2 people, the sender and the recipient. Who is a recipient? A patron you are writing to. And who is a sender? The person writing or sending the letter. The recipient can be the person. For example, if I give you a question and say write a letter, you're supposed to write a letter to your father. Write a letter to your father telling him about. Now your father becomes the recipient because he's going to receive the letter, and you become the sender, or you become the writer. Now this composition, this type of a formal letter or friendly letter has only one address, and this address is the sender's address, the writer's address. Where is it written? It is written on the right hand side of the paper. So for example, I want to send this letter and my name is Husna. I'm going to say my name is Husna Rajab. I am Husna Rajab, comma. Remember, after the name you have a comma. So we can have let's assume this is my paper. This one is also my paper. So you write, this is my book. I'm going to say my name is Husna Rajab. Full stop. You put here the J is small, so you should have a what? A dot above it. Husna Rajab, PO Box 291, comma, Garissa. So you have Garissa, and then after Garissa you have a full stop. You are going to skip a line. Once you skip a line, you are going to write the date. Like today is 1st of 7th, the year 2020. So I have my address, Husna Rajab, PO Box 291, Garissa. Just remember, Husna Rajab, comma, PO Box, comma, Garissa. After the word, after the sender through which you have a full stop, then you skip a line and then you write what? We write the date. This is called the block type of, we have two types of addresses. This one is called the block what? Block type of address. Now, if you write the block type of address, just make sure your composition is also block. Your paragraphs are also block. Now, or you can come up with the indented one or the slanted type of what? Of address. For example, I'm having this is my book, and I can say my name is Husna Rajab. So I'm having Husna Rajab, have a comma, then I say PO Box 291, comma, then you come here and write Garissa, full stop. You see what I'm having? That's what we call the slanted. Then you still skip a line, but once you skip the line, the date comes on the same line as the first letter. Today is on 1st of 7th, the year 2020. Just remember, the address you choose influences the type of letter or how you are going to paragraph your work. So you have this, you can choose the address you want to write. Just remember, this type features of a friendly letter. This type of letter has only one address, which is written on the right hand side, and this address belongs to the sender, not the recipient. The recipient is the person who's going to receive the letter. The sender is the person writing. So this address belongs to you. If I'm writing a letter to you, it belongs to me. If you are writing a letter to me, the address belongs to you. So you have this, you have the one address that is written on the what? On the right hand side. Unlike the formal letter, this type of letter has no what? Has no reference. Like, what is the letter about? Like, it does not have a reference line. If you are coming up with a formal letter, you have what we call a reference line. But this type of letter does not have a reference line. Now, after you've written your address, you come to number 3, what we call the salutation. Now, what is the salutation? You are introducing whoever you are writing the letter to. For example, this is my book. I'm having my block. Let me go with my intended by a type of address. Now, if you are writing this letter, there are different ways you can salute a person you are writing the letter to in a friendly letter. Example, I'm Husna Rajab, PO Box 291, Garissa, and then I have 17220. Then I come here. Just below, you have on the left hand side of the address. Like you have on the left hand side, I can say, dear mom. So that is what we call the salutation. Or you can say, loving mother. You can say, loving mother, comma. Just remember, it is the salutation. You have, dear mom, loving mother. Or to my friend, Amina, whatever you want to say. So those entering words. If I say that, those words that you use to people you are in close association to. Like if I'm writing a letter to my mother, I'll say, to my loving mama, to my loving mother. If you are writing a letter to your father, you can say to your loving father. If you are writing this letter to your friend, you can say to my lovely friend, whatever you want. So you can say that you use this. This cannot be used in a formal letter, but it can be used in what? In a friendly letter. Loving, to my friend Amina, dear mama, dear mom. So you can have dear mom, you can have loving mother, full stop, for comma, and then you can have to my friend Amina. If that's what you want to write, Now you have that. This is what we call the salutation. After you have the salutation here, Just remember, you don't use everything. You know the problem with some people, we think I'm saying, dear mom, loving mother, to my loving mother. So if I say write a letter to your mother and tell her about your performance in school, somebody will say, dear mom, loving mother, like all our salutation. No. If you want to use them, you just use what? You just use one of them. You can try to say dear mom, or you can say dear, to my loving mother, comma. You can say to my loving friend. So this is what we call the salutation. We are going to say, let's say we are going with the dear mom. Dear mom, which is called the salutation. Then you come to the body of the composition. The body of the composition. This body of the composition we come to the, what do we call it? We come to the main now agenda. Why we are writing the letter. We have the body, which is divided to the introduction. You have the introduction, which is also called the salutation, which is where you are going to ask your mother or your father how they are doing. And then we have the main body of the composition, like the main agenda. Why are you writing that letter? Why are you writing that letter? We have the conclusion, and then we have what we call the signing off, like you ending your letter. Now, when you come here to the body of the composition, like I've said, write a letter to your mother and tell them about your school, about your performance in school, or how you are doing at school, and ask for pocket money or fare back home. Let's assume schools are going to close. So you say, dear mom, and then in my introductory part of the letter, I'm going to say, how are you, right? How are you? You have that, how are you? Question mark. You are asking them. You want to know how they are doing. And since you want to know how they are doing, then you should also tell them how you are doing, how you're faring on. Tell them, how are you? I hope that you are fine on my side. I'm alive and kicking, just still pedaling with my schoolwork, with my mountain of schoolwork. Now you tell them how you are doing, you are fine. You ask them how they are, and wish that they are okay. Then you go to the second paragraph where you tell us. That's where you begin the main agenda. You are going to tell us. You're going to tell your mother why you are writing that letter. I'm writing this letter to you, Mama, to tell you to kindly send school fee, to tell you how I'm performing in school. In our first cut, I got 396 marks, but I did not reach my target, which was 400. I didn't perform well in English because of this and this, but in my second cut, I improved and got 421 marks, which was a great improvement, and I also improved in my English. I'm aiming for the sky. Because the sky is the limit. Another reason why I'm writing this letter is to tell you to kindly send me fare, because schools are nearly going to close. By next week, we are going to begin our end of term exam, in which I'm preparing very hard and hoping against hope that I'm going to perform well. I will kindly ask you to send me 350 shillings for my fare back home, and an additional 100 so that I can use on the way. You can talk about many stuff, a lot of stuff in a friendly letter. Ask your mother how your young sibling is doing, how the uncle that was sick, if he's okay or he's still sick. That's what we are calling the body. In the body, after the introduction, where you're asking your mama how she's doing, or you're asking your friend how she's doing, or you're asking your father how they are doing. Tell them how you are also doing. Ask about the other family members how they are doing. In the second paragraph, tell us why you are writing this letter. Tell them why you are writing the letter. You might realize that some of you have the beginning of the composition where you're asking how are you? I'm writing this letter to tell you the composition it becomes wrong. Why? You are simply asking them how they are, but you are not telling them how you are. So it becomes wrong. Like the composition will be correct if it is marked, but the person marking the composition will want to know how you are also faring on. Like it becomes a common knowledge that when you ask someone how they are doing, you should also tell them how you are doing. Once you've written the letter, you are going to the conclusion part of the composition. Tell them you miss them much, and you hope to hear from them soon. You hope to hear from them soon. Now, we come to the ending of a friendly letter. The ending of a friendly letter. So if you come here to the ending of a friendly letter, like if you have a formal letter, you can say yours faithfully. Then you have a comma, and then you can have a signature. Let's say that is my signature, and I'm then going to write my name. I'm Husna Rajab. If that's my name, that's my name. You have a signature. You can sign off. But you realize that in a friendly letter, you can sign off or you cannot. It is up to you. Do you want to sign off this letter or you don't want to sign off? So you choose if you want to sign off or you don't want to sign off. But what are some of the ways that you can end this conversation? You can end this conversation. You can say, you can say your loving friend. If you are writing to your friend, you say you are loving. You can say your loving friend, comma. Or I can say, if you are writing to your mother, you can say your loving daughter. If you are a girl, you say your loving daughter. If you are a boy, you are going to say your loving son, right? If you are a boy, you say loving son. If you are a girl, you say your loving daughter. You can say yours affectionately or you are affectionate. So you say you are affectionate. You can say you are affectionate, or you can say yours affectionately. Just remember, you have yours affectionately and your affection. If you are having a possessive pronoun, your second person, you say you are yours affectionately, comma. You can say you are affectionate. You can say yours sincerely, comma. Or you can say you are sincere, and then you write your name. For example, I'm going to say you are loving friend, and then I'm going to say Ami. I'm going to say full stop. Or your loving daughter, Husni. If you want to, if that's your name, you can say Husni. You are affectionate, comma. Who is that? You can write your name. After you end, you can end a friendly letter in so many ways. You just choose a way to end. And like I've said, you can sign off if you want, and if you don't want, you can still not sign off. Just remember, the signature comes before the name. What most of you do in the mistakes most of you do in this type when you're ending the letter is you write yours, for example, yours loving, comma, and then you write Husna Rajab, for example, if that is my name, comma, and then you are going to say Husna Rajab, and then you have a signature before it. No, you first have a signature before you have a name. The name does not come before the signature. It's the other way around. So once you get your books, most of you did the mistakes. Once you get your books, you make the corrections. If I say you redo the work, you redo the work. In your next composition, you write a formal letter. I'll post the question in the group. Do have a good day.